Cell phone addiction. Have you tried going for a prolonged period of time without looking at your cell phone, without checking YouTube, without even listening to music? When's the last time that you have put your phone down completely and not had any music playing or any distractions playing in the background? It was just you and the sound of nothingness. It's probably been a while, right? It had been a while for me too. In fact, I've dabbled over time with these phone detoxes. And one thing that I've learned for sure is how addicting cell phones are and technology is. You know, when you think back to our grandparents, you think back to, wow, they used to not have to, keep up on email all the time. They used to not have all these distractions. If they wanted to be entertained, sure, TVs existed back then. They could watch TV. A lot of the time, you had books, you had card games, you just had a whole lot of different stuff. So it was a way different life even a couple of generations ago, right? Way different than it is today. But hey, it was different when I was a kid compared to now. So I challenge you to try to go a day. Go a day without using your cell phone for recreation, and only use your cell phone to text people to set up times to meet up and to check like important emails. But you're not allowed to go and surf. You're not allowed to go and play Spotify. When you drive to different places, no music, no radio, just the sound of you in silence. It's really, really, really hard. I can't understate that enough. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even those of us like myself who don't feel like we don't identify with having a cell phone addiction, I still have a cell phone addiction for sure. A technology addiction for sure, 100%. It's tougher than I think you're going to expect. If you've never done it before, if you have, you know what I'm talking about. You know it's difficult, but you know it's not impossible. You go through these phases. Phase one is you're like, I'm okay. This isn't very hard. Then maybe a couple hours go by. Then you just start to feel bored. And you're like, oh man, what am I going to do with my time? So maybe you pick up a book, maybe you read. That's excellent, great. And then if you keep managing to put it off and let's say go days or even like a week or longer without it, then I'm going to tell you what, you're going to notice a lot of benefits. One of the biggest things is reading is going to be more pleasurable. You're going to feel more at peace with being by yourself, and you're going to almost crave it and look forward to it. And then if you've went a long enough of a period, so I'm referring to days to a week to even longer than a week, you will become exposed to these things again. You'll listen to Spotify and you'll get like a huge dopamine hit from it. But then you'll also find that you were wasting a lot of your time on things that really didn't matter, like mindless scrolling, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are what get me. Oh my gosh. And I notice when I come off of a streak of not diving into these kinds of distractions, when I go back to it for a little bit, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is kind of a waste of my time. Like you have more of a fresh perspective and can just put it down easier. But then you notice the more that you do it and the more it becomes normal, the more you get sucked into it. And then again, the harder it is to put down for a period of time. So give it a shot, give it a whirl. What's to lose? In fact, there's a whole lot to gain from it. I can tell you that. I do this fairly often, and people in my life, my generation, they'll say things like, are you crazy? Like you're an alien. Like, what do you do? How do you fill your free time? And, I'll explain to them, I'll read, I'll meditate, I'll go out for walks, and there's all this peaceful, I feel very peaceful, and they just can't believe it. They're like, what are you doing? That's so weird. Or you drive to places and you don't always play music. Like, what's going on? It's a superpower, being able to be by yourself. And once you get over, I'm telling you, once you get over that initial hurdle of it being strange, of it being awkward, of it being boring, you will reach a place where you feel at ease, like there's a lot of peace, and you can't quite describe it or know 100% what it's like until you go out there and do it. So what are you waiting for? Go out there and do it. All right. Hopefully this video was informative and helpful. I'm hoping that it motivated you to take some action and challenge cell phone addiction, because it's real. And even if you don't think you're addicted to your phone, chances are you're more so than you thought. So, all right, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Peace.